Let me know when. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Coffee with Father James. This is Coffee with Father James under a tree, and I'm drinking from my construction coffee mug. As you can see, the construction in the background. And this construction in the background is the apartment building that's being built presently, that's going to be in front of our church. We've spoken about that before. And I've never sat under this tree. It's actually quite comfortable. But this very place where I am sitting, there's a high possibility that in a couple of years from now, I would effectively be sitting suspended about 12 feet above the floor in our new parish hall, because that's part of the dream we have is coming out from the side of the building will be a big parish hall that will seat 200 people. So that's part of our dream, because that's part of what we need in a renewed building. Now, a quick review. 4 years ago, we began this concept of raising the awareness that we need the renewal of our building, which hasn't really had anything done to it since it was built in 1968. Because we've got to be responsible stewards. We've got to ensure that we have a building that's going to serve the mission of the church for the next 50 years. And back then, there was people who understandably said, are we even going to need a building? I mean, maybe in a couple of years, we can all fit in a tent, and that's all we're going to need. Well, guess what? You know, a couple of weeks ago, we had 855 people at Sunday Mass, and the place was packed. So yeah, we have a future. We're going to need a building. The real building of the church is the people of God, the living stones, but the living stones need a physical building that will serve the mission. And part of the building that we need for the mission includes extra spaces to gather and to be and to function and to have different programs and events. And so that's the dream, is to add on to the building, to upgrade the building. Now, we had initially done a lot of consultation with parishioners, looking into the future, talking about the values that we wanted to see reflected in the building. And we worked with an architectural company to do some visioning of what that would look like. That was a concept, it wasn't a plan. We got it priced out. We saw that, this is maybe a little more expensive than we can afford. We then went back to the drawing board, and we got permission from the Archdiocese to move into the design phase, which is actually going from a concept to planning. And we basically did what's called a request, our RFP, request for proposal. I think that's what it is. We put the word out to a number of engineering and architectural firms to pitch to us why they would be the best ones to actually take the concept and create a concrete plan, including the fact that we needed to reduce the cost from what was estimated. And there was a number of firms that responded to our request. The committee discerned through a number of them. There was another round of effectively interviews and presentations, and the committee settled on one particular architectural company as the ones that they thought would best serve the purpose of renewing the building in the parish and doing the design work over a period of a number of years. And so that company is called ZAP, ZZAP or ZZAP. They are a Dartmouth-based architectural company, and they are actually the same company who did the original concept work with us. So we've worked with them for a while. I'll just say this, that it was an incredible experience to be with and hear all the presentations from the different companies. And it was a very difficult process, because they were such amazing people, all with a passion and a skill. But through a process of discernment and using really objective criteria, the committee settled on ZAP. And so I just want to let you know a few facts about that. I'm going to have to consult my notes for this. That we will be working with their entire team. especially over the next 12 months. We anticipate this design work to take place over 12 months. It's going to include rethinking about the upgrade of the interior space. You know, what exactly it's going to mean for us to bring the cost down. We'll have to wait to see what they come up with, but there will be interaction with the parish, with parishioners, as we slowly together go to the next level of discernment about what's going to best serve the mission of the church. So we will be keeping you updated. You will have a chance to have input on this. And of course, the question of funding is a pretty critical one. Like, how much would this actually cost and how are we going to pay for it? That's something that is still ongoing. But in the midst of that uncertainty, we continue to slowly move forward in the right direction. And I'm convinced that we've got an amazing committee who's doing amazing work and is helping us to be and become a parish that is going to be able to have a building that will serve its mission for the next 50 years. So please keep all of this in your prayers. And I hope you feel bought into this and that you too can own this process. And I hope that it's someday this imaginary hall that I'm sitting in, well, floating in above the floor, someday, hey, maybe someday we'll go back and watch this video on the screen in the hall. What do you think? Who knows? God bless.